the link. Welcome everyone to November 17th. This is our Thanksgiving week special. I'm Taz Ferreira. I've been partnered with a Million Mom Movement about 4 years. I think we're going to 4 years. I am joined by my amazing counsel, Naiva Flori, who's in Hawaii, Carmela Velarde, who's in Texas, Shari Picard, who's in Montreal, Quebec, and we have two amazing newest member, Tammy, who's in Colorado. And thank you all for being part of our call. So we're talking about Thanksgiving. And before we start, we have a pledge that we all stand by. And we like to begin our calls with that. Sometimes we start at the end. Now we want to bring it back to the beginning to open up the call with that. And our newest member, Tammy, will start us off with opening that up.
Thank you so much, Taz. Can you guys pull the pledge up? I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Thank you so much, Tammy. I love this pledge. And you know what? This pledge is how we live our everyday life. And we're talking about Thanksgiving, right? And I know so many of us are doing the transformation. And every single recipe and everything we're going to be talking about on today's call, you can do while you're on the transformation. So we're opening up a whole new door, showing you how you can live your life, enjoy your holidays, and be part of our amazing movement. So let's talk a little bit about what's been happening in the news. We always love bringing topics to you that we've read, and we're like, you know what? Our Million Mom Movement team needs to know about this. So Shari Picard in Montreal will be telling us about in the news.
Thanks, Tess. Pull up my articles. This one. All right. Minimize. Okay, so our first article today is about Thanksgiving, of course, and what the Thanksgiving feast actually does to your body. So we want to know, what does a good Thanksgiving feast do to the body? Well, we know that Thanksgiving is a time for gratitude. While many people enjoy the holiday feast with abandon, some dieters and healthy eaters stress over the idea of consuming a huge number of calories in just one sitting. But is it really worth the worry? Well, here's what eating one enormous meal actually does to your body, according to the experts. So the short-term effects of a big meal. When you consume lots of food, your stomach has to physically expand to accommodate the additional volume, potentially leading to some discomfort. When the meal includes lots of starchy dishes, like those in a typical Thanksgiving spread, your body also experiences a sudden spike in blood sugar as carbohydrates are converted into glucose. So blood pressure and fluid retention may also increase as your body is processing the fats, the salts. But those spikes should come down usually within a couple of hours. And of course, we can actually speed that process up by getting physically active after we eat. That's why going for a walk is a great idea after a big Thanksgiving feast. So people with chronic health conditions, however, have more to consider. So people with diabetes, for example, should carefully manage their blood sugar, and those with a history of vascular problems or hypertension may be at risk of complications related to elevated blood pressure or fluid retention. Eating a huge meal also recruits extra energy to your digestive system, and that's probably to blame for your post-dinner grogginess, not the often cited tryptophan in the turkey. Isn't that interesting? We all like to blame the turkey, but it's not really the turkey that's making us feel that grogginess afterwards. You can only do so many things with your physical body, and when you put a lot of food in, it's going to take a lot of energy for your body to digest it all, right? Break it down and digest it. So you may even notice that your extremities are a little cold since extra blood is diverted to the digestive system and away from the rest of the body. But what are the long-term effects of a big meal? So the good news is that you're unlikely to see any long-lasting effects from your mega meal, no matter how many calories it contains. There's 365 days in a year, and if you eat 3 meals in a day, we're talking about over 1,000 meals in a year. What you're doing for a holiday here and there is not going to have any lasting impact on health and weight if you're going to get back to your normal healthy-ish eating afterwards. And this is where, I say this with caution a little bit because sometimes people hear that it's not really going to be a big deal. And so we kind of tend to overindulge. We don't really want to be overindulging either, right? So making sure that we stay in balance and of course, having a healthy lifestyle, healthy nutrition on a daily basis does allow us some wiggle room when it comes to a one feast, one time a year. So the bottom line, in an ideal world, you'd exercise portion control and opt for a produce-heavy plate on Thanksgiving. Still, there are a few ways that you can protect both your health and comfort on Turkey Day. First of all, resist the urge to skip breakfast, since eating a light morning meal may kickstart your metabolism and keep you from getting ravenous before dinner time. And when you do feast, take your time. Slower rates of eating result in a greater sense of satiety from the brain. If you slow down the rate of consumption, you'll feel fuller faster before you get to the more, right? Eating also gives your body time to digest, potentially reducing discomfort. And it's always a great idea to drink plenty of water, which can help aid in digestion and it can help flush out any of the additional salt that you're having. Plus, it's going to help you feel fuller a little sooner. It's also a great idea to take a stroll after dinner. I cannot stress this one enough. Not only because you'll burn a few calories, but also because it's a nice activity to do with your loved ones. And isn't that what Thanksgiving is all about? So that is our first article. Jump over to the second one. Okay, this second article is how Thanksgiving gratitude may improve your health. All right, so expressing gratitude improves cardiovascular strength, sleep quality, and more. Gratitude enhances performance in every domain that's been examined: psychological, relational, emotional, and physical. This is why it's been referred to as the ultimate performance enhancing substance. So just go ahead and put a 1 in the comments if you have a gratitude practice on a daily basis, or if you even have just a gratitude practice for Thanksgiving. Maybe it's a gratitude tradition. The field of gratitude health studies is still young, but researchers said practicing gratitude may positively affect physical health in 2 main ways. So first, it can change your biology and your behavior. A health behavior change is when someone that practices gratitude ends up engaging in more self-care habits or following the directions of their care provider more closely. Sometimes you'll find that a study reports that a particular gratitude intervention leads to lower blood pressure. That's the biology pathway. Gratitude interventions are a method researchers use to determine how expressing gratitude may directly cause positive health effects. A common approach is to ask participants to write down what they're grateful for on a daily basis in a gratitude journal or to pen gratitude letters. Several studies have concluded that keeping a gratitude journal improves physical health. A 2015 study of 119 women found that just 2 weeks of keeping a gratitude journal can improve sleep quality and decrease blood pressure. Researchers at UC San Diego came to a similar conclusion the following year in a 2016 study of nearly 70 women and men at risk of heart failure, asked participants to keep a gratitude journal for 8 weeks. So researchers found that the participants who kept the journals had lower levels of inflammation, a biomarker, of course, for heart failure. Along the lines of physical exercise, a healthier diet, or higher quality sleep, gratitude is worth the time. Practicing gratitude is also tied to lower stress levels because people who regularly express gratitude have a greater capacity to regulate emotions in a constructive way. It can even short circuit the body's stress response. The holiday season can be a very stressful one. So we know this, people are often exhausted or they're worn down, worn out, feeling depleted and defeated. Sometimes we put way too much pressures on ourselves over the holiday seasons. Sometimes seeing family can be a little stressful, right? This is why gratitude is especially important for this time of the year. Grateful people are less likely to experience envy, anger, resentment, regret, and other unpleasant states that produce stress and thwart positive emotions. At this point, we're not quite there in terms of conclusively saying that experiencing or expressing gratitude is linked to better physical health. More definitive study is needed. We hope that we've answered the questions on how, we hope to answer the questions in the not so distant future. So I loved this article and we decided to add it here because, we think of Thanksgiving and of course there's the gratitude component to it, which we are going to get into more during this presentation. But I just thought that this was a really great way to open this up because gratitude, as we see here in this article, actually has positive effects. It could have very positive effects on our overall health. So back to you, Tess.
I love this article. And everything you were sharing, Sherry, like if you had to tell your loved one that if you could lower your blood pressure by writing a gratitude journal, I mean, imagine that. How beautiful is that? No medication, nothing, change nothing else in your life, but start incorporating a gratitude journal. How amazing that is. Once you open up your heart, everything in your body starts to regulate itself. And sitting down to eat is a big deal. Sitting down to eat really regulates your nervous system. And then part of your article, when you were saying that tryptophan is not what makes you tired. I mean, I grew up thinking that, I'm plant-based now, but growing up, I always heard that turkey makes you fall asleep. So that's so interesting to understand that that's not true. Just like everything that we were taught growing up, we learn as adults, that wasn't true. So the more we know, the more we can make changes and then we can empower the future. So I'm going to, if you guys don't know my daughter yet, this is my daughter, Chiara Boccardi. She's going to be reading the Purium blog about our Thanksgiving.
Perfect. Do we have it open here? Perfect. Oh. You guys see the screen?
I will go to it.
Okay. Scroll down and then scroll back up.
Huh? There you go.
Okay. Healthy Thanksgiving recipes for every diet. I love cooking, so this is definitely going to be one of my favorite things to talk about. So we have appetizers. So
but if you are doing your ultimate lifestyle transformation, you can absolutely enjoy Thanksgiving. This is what we want to show all of you. This is not about deprivation. This is not about skipping meals, right? We want to show you how you can live healthy, how you can enjoy time with your family and loved ones, but do it in a healthy way.
Right. So these are all these recipes that you guys can eat. So our first recipe is dazzle with apples. So we're going to bake apples, and you can use the Purium tropic oil to put it onto the apples.
We don't have a tropic oil anymore, but at the end we have a gift for all of you. If you stick around, by the end of this call, we will be showcasing a special Thanksgiving recipe ebook that we created for you.
Yes. Okay, the next one is veggies. So, you can make sure you have a balanced Thanksgiving plate. So we have all our vegetables here. You can also have potato chips. You need to make sure you're not eating any of the Ruffles or Lay's because, we don't know, there's probably glyphosate on them. It's not organic. So we need to make sure if you want to have potatoes, make sure that they're organic, that you're making them yourself.
How about sietes? I know you love sietes. That's great. A good alternative that you can use.
Yeah, it's a great brand. But I feel like you can also make them with your family, which is a nice little Thanksgiving activity. And you can also make meatballs. So you can take, vegan meats, or you can take black beans. I love using black beans. Okay, black bean burgers are the best burgers. You can, like, make them into a little ball, put some tomato sauce on them, and it's very simple and it tastes great.
And make your homemade barbecue sauce. You can make an easy barbecue sauce with sun-dried tomatoes, with some blackstrap molasses, add a little bit of coconut sugar or maple syrup into that. That's the most delicious sauce.
And everything is so easy, all this is food. We also have a salad you guys can make, use quinoa, sweet potatoes, kale, and pesto vinaigrette. That is a great alternative, and make sure that all your foods are organic, and quinoa is a great alternative to
And
rice as well.
Everything you're reading right now, you know what I've noticed? It's color. Eat with your eyes, eat the rainbow. The more colors you put on your plate, you're putting all this nutrition into your body.
Exactly. And what else? So stuffing. So you can also take, it says to use sausage, sage, and apple, and you can like stuff things with that. And you can also, what other things do we have here? We have main dishes. We have carrots, farro chickpeas, herb crème fraîche. So this is all great, and this is all vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and this is all so colorful, as my mom was talking before. I love eating colorful foods. It makes it more fun, and this is all flavorful, organic foods. It's all made from a farm, so it's very whole, really fun to eat, for sure. What else do we have? We have turkey.
Yes, that we just learned does not actually make you fall asleep.
Yeah.
But us being plant-based, we wouldn't have turkey, but you can have other alternatives. I mean, you can make a lentil meatloaf. You can make, right now we're really into using black lentils.
Yes.
So I think that's a great alternative as well.
Yes, let's see what else we have.
You can have dessert.
Ooh, this looks good. So wait.
As she's reading it, she's salivating. Yes.
Oh my God. Wait. Yeah. This looks so good. We have great alternative with chipotle pineapple jerk glazed ham.
I think it's supposed to be ham.
Yeah, it's supposed to be ham.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Pineapple is great. So you know how you can make jackfruit wings. There's so many fruits and vegetables have so many alternatives that you can make with them. We love making jackfruit wings. We use pineapple. That's amazing. Cauliflower, yes.
There's so many things.
There's so many. There's also watermelon. You can make we can make a salmon out of watermelon, and it tastes like salmon.
Yeah.
And it's also without having all the plastics, because you know how salmon has a bunch of plastics now. So you get to have the taste of salmon without the salmon.
Oh, that's good.
What else? Oh, desserts, our favorite.
There was a point that Sherry, the article that she was reading and saying, once in a while you have a big meal. But what happens? Who has this one big meal once in a while? You have that dessert after Thanksgiving, and then what happens? You crave that dessert for the entire week. You're like, it's not a big deal. I'll just have a little bit, right? But those decisions lead to a worse outcome. You start making your body acidic. You start getting more tired. You actually throw off your progression with a transformation instead of incorporating healthy recipes, right? Like the apples with the
Exactly. Right? So there's also a pumpkin bread that you can make using all the Purium products. So if you guys don't know, you can use the Purium products as you cook, so you can
stick around at the end. We will talk to you more about that.
Yes, you have a bunch of other, we have coffee inspired, and we'll post this in the chat so you guys can read this.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, it's unshare.
Perfect.
Thank you, Chetta, for reading that.
Thank you.
Well, as the season of gratitude is upon us, it's time to rethink our Thanksgiving tradition, as we're all talking about today, and embrace a celebration of nourishing moments for the body and for the mind. And this year, let's embark on a journey to create a Thanksgiving feast that not only delights our taste buds, but also promotes overall well-being. And join us as we explore the art of cultivating healthy Thanksgiving traditions, from mindful menus, planning to incorporate wholesome activities into the holiday festivities. So we will begin in Hawaii with mindful menu planning with Naeva. I can't wait to hear this.
Thank you so much, Taz and Kiara, for sharing that article. And Yeah, so mindful menu planning. So we just had a candy holiday, and we're about to have a eating holiday, followed by a cookie holiday, a booze holiday, and then everybody's going to want to get healthy, right? So let's stay healthy throughout the whole process and not just overindulge and then, in New Year's want to get healthy. And that's where we really want to incorporate all these healthy recipes that we've created for you for your Thanksgiving meal plan, and just really encourage you. And some of the things that are really great to incorporate as well, of course, is having your ultimate lifestyle transformation and having your green drink and your aminos every day. But in addition, you could have your aloe digest. Maybe you want to share aloe digest with everybody at Thanksgiving dinner as part of your contribution to help everybody have better digestion, right? So the cornerstone of healthy Thanksgiving really lies in the menu and what you're going to provide to people and to your whole family. And so if you're making it for yourself and you're the main cook, then of course you have a lot of power over what gets put on the table. Or if you're joining a family Thanksgiving, then you're maybe going to bring one or two of the dishes, and you can really highlight how you can create a healthy menu without sacrificing, right? You can still indulge, but in healthier options. So you don't have to rely solely on the traditional options that we're used to that are, high sugar, have lots of oils and greases in them, and are harder to digest. We can really provide more options that are easier on the body to digest, where we can indulge without the guilt. And with that in mind, of course, you can also incorporate the control pre-meal capsules half an hour before your Thanksgiving dinner to really help your body in the digestion process, and maybe our enzyme advantage after Thanksgiving dinner to also help you break down all of that. Of course, in combination with your aloe digest, you're going to have a way better outcome than maybe what you've had in your past Thanksgiving dinners. And it's so important, like Taz and Kyoto shared, is to have the whole rainbow and to have all the vibrant colors on the menu and on the table. And it's really going to help you in your health and on this journey. So I'm so excited to share more with you. And like they said, we do have a gift for you at the end of this presentation where we're going to go more into some of the healthier recipes and options that we want to share with you all. So I'm going to pass it back to you, Taz. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Naiva. I love that you were suggesting adding the enzymes, the aloe digest and the enzymes. These are our secret weapons to every holiday. Just incorporate them and they'll help break down the foods. And you guys know I've lived a plant-based lifestyle with my entire family. And I mean, when you think of Thanksgiving, what do you think of? Turkey, cranberry, stuffing, cornbread. I mean, these are the things that come to my mind when I think of sweet potato pie, right? So let me give you some alternatives how we can make this plant-based, right? So instead of turkey, remember at the beginning I was talking to you guys about that lentil loaf? I mean, that's so easy to make. And you know what I love about this loaf? You can add all the seasonings, okay? You can make this in advance. You can put it in the fridge. And the longer it sits, you know what happens? The better it gets. So this is not something you have to make last minute if you have company over. You can make it during the week and you can prep it with the kids. If they want to add a heaping spoonfuls of garlic, it's fine because over the time, it won't taste that bad. It'll incorporate, you'll have all the juices. It'll be delicious. How about for cornbread? What's an alternative that we like?
Well, my mom makes this incredible bread. Tell them about the ingredients.
Okay, so I have this bread that I make because you guys know, like, we live a gluten-free lifestyle, right? But when you go to the grocery store and you read the ingredients of these gluten-free breads, I mean, they're not great, right? Let's be realistic here. We talk about the toxin that came to dinner. We go through the daily dozen. We go through so many toxicity of the breads in our grocery store, but you can make it easily at home, okay? So I use coconut flour. I use almond meal. So almond meal, I make it at home. I make sure it's a raw organic almond and you just make it into powder. You can do it yourself. It's so easy. I add some psyllium husk and then I just add some warm water and I mix it together. It becomes a dough. I add all like Himalayan salt. Sometimes I add garlic. I add a little bit of onion powder to give a little savoriness. And then I form it into a dough. I add some pumpkin seeds on top, put it in the oven. That's it. That was my bread recipe. How simple is that? And it is so delicious. When it comes out, it's super soft and moist. You add some coconut butter on that. no one would know the difference. It's so healthy. And you know what? When it comes to plant-based meals, these are so nutritionally dense foods, right? So your body won't be missing anything. And you know what'll happen? You'll actually eat less because your body gets full with all of the food. You're like, yes, this is exactly my body needed, right? You can do roasted cauliflower, like a whole head of cauliflower. What I like to do with that, I like adding tahini on top of that, like a tahini, because now you're getting the calcium. Our body needs calcium. You don't get calcium from milk. You get calcium from nutrition, from broccoli, from tahini. So upload your body with all these nutrient dense foods. Butternut squash. We love pies, right?
Oh my God, yes.
And the crust of pies can be your nightmare, okay? Because they're full of butter and all of this oils that our body really does not need. But how about we add some coconut oil and almond meal? That's all you need. Maybe a little bit of vanilla, maybe some maple syrup or coconut syrup. You press that out on a pie sheet, and then you can make your own butternut squash, pumpkin, whatever you desire, right? You can buy it frozen, make sure it's organic. You can do it old school by buying it and cutting it and slicing it and adding some cinnamon. Choose Ceylon cinnamon instead of the cases. And I mean, it makes a huge difference and it's delicious. And these are food that you can indulge in. You can keep in the fridge, you can freeze them, and you can defrost them for later. Yes, everyone is welcome to come to my house. And I mean, with all of this gratitude, once we are eating delicious, healthy foods and we're cooking, we are putting our energies into the food, right? This is what makes the food taste different. This is why a lot of times when you go to someone you don't really like, you're like, you know what? I wasn't full. Doesn't the food taste different? Compared to someone you actually love and you're like, that was the best meal ever. Has that ever happened to you guys? Drop me a 2 if that's ever happened. I mean, that's happened to me on numerous occasions. So when we cook, let's remember to open up our hearts and share the energy into our food. And Sherry is going to introduce us how to open up our hearts this season.
Thanks, Tess. Love all of that. I'm getting really hungry. So gratitude and connection, right? So Thanksgiving is not just about the food, it's about connecting, it's about gratitude, and it's about connecting with our loved ones. So there's lots of ways that we can do that throughout the holiday season. And if it's not something that you're used to doing already, then Thanksgiving is a perfect time to create that tradition, right? And start not just a tradition, but perhaps a new lifestyle, right? Perhaps a new routine that you can then continue throughout the year. How great would that be if we started at Thanksgiving and then wound up, taking some time on a daily basis to be thankful, right? And to connect. So that connection piece is really key, because if we look at centennials and we look at blue zones around the world, one of the main factors that they all have in common is that they make their meal times a connective time, right? It's a time to connect and to socialize with people that they love. Some areas of the world, they even invite people from the village, different people they don't even know, over for dinner, because it's new stories and it's new connections. And this is really known to and been proven to in studies to enhance our health, our wellness, our well-being. So it's really a time to try to incorporate some of that. We can do that many ways, right? It can be as simple as going around the table before starting to eat and everybody gets to list something that they're thankful for. You could do a Thanksgiving meditation. You could do a walking Thanksgiving meditation before or after your meal. How great would it be to go for a walk after your meal as a family, and just, express that gratitude for the meal that you ate, for the company that you're in. These are just some of the ways. And, we can get kids involved in this so many ways. And I think Tammy has a really beautiful idea for that. So I'm going to let her get into that. But there are just so many ways that we can incorporate the gratitude and the connective pieces to Thanksgiving that I really think are meant to be at the core of the holiday, right? Eating is that we know that we need to eat. If we do it well, then it's fuel for the body, right? Our food talks to ourselves. It's so important to really nourish our bodies well, but we can't forget about the gratitude and the connective aspect to the holiday as well. Back to you, Tess.
I love everything you said. You know, whenever we think of blue zones, we're always so focused on the food and what they're eating, but we're forgetting it's the connections. This is actually what's helping them live long. And you know what? This, I have to tie it in. This is what we do on our Fierce Friday. It's the connections with all of you. You know, this is what we do. We're linking arms together. We're passing this movement forward. We're showing you guys how to do it. We don't tell you to fish. We show you how to do it, right? So you can pass it on to the next generation. And, you know, actively celebrate. So Carmela is going to show us how we can celebrate all of these traditions together.
Thanks so much, Taz and Sherry, Neva, Tammy. This has been such a great call. I love Thanksgiving. I grew up in Pennsylvania, which is like the birthplace of America. And I grew up in actually going to Quaker school, which is also the reason why we have the 13 colonies. And it started there. And we never celebrated holidays, but we celebrated every day as everyone has God in each day. So we think as Quakers to obey the light within. And I have always just saw that as like my philosophy. So we're talking about gratitude, and how in 1684, that was when this had all started, guys. So I grew up really in a tapestry of understanding American tradition. And when I had actually sat down with my family, they're ones to talk about these things. So in starting good traditions, we always want to remember that the reason why we came together in this very free land is to create a life that we desire, that we want. And so we're talking also today about active celebrations with the body, movement medicine. I think everyone has touched on walking after or before starting your meals because it activates our bodies to be aware. And in all of those blue zones, if you guys had not seen this, we keep referencing it. We all talk about limitations and like connection with the body. So prior to eating, you say a mantra to understand that there's 85 or 75% full, that feeling of full. Well, when you feel full, why don't you take a light walk and get up and move? And that's really a key component to just listening. We want to encourage within the Mom a really healthy lifestyle of incorporating these physical activities into your Thanksgiving traditions. And we want to give you some ideas like organizing a family-friendly turkey trot, which is like just a walk. I guess that's what it is. Embarking on a nature walk, enjoying the crisp autumn air, engaging in a post-meal dance party. So we always have dance parties in my house because we have this great system when my husband's a DJ. But we really want to promote physical well-being because it creates lasting memories. And families that exercise and move together, they stay healthy. And when your family exercises together, you grow healthy together. And as a unit, you'll improve your family bonds, and you'll also be the role model and the importance of physical activity to your kids. So by doing it, they will always remember that kinesthetic energy. We do have some really fun ideas that I had found online for games. So if you guys want to like think of, if you have a big group, I don't have a big group, but I do have my daughter's boyfriend coming to town, and we're entertaining. So besides just eating, right? Think of some ideas. I found this really great website, Play, Party, and Plan, and they have so many ideas. One thing we had done in the Million Mom during the pandemic was a scavenger hunt because we want to get the kids moving during the pandemic to just move around while we were on the Zoom and do it together with us. And there's so many ideas. There's I think 45 different ideas here. So besides the scavenger hunt, there was this one really cute idea that I thought if you have little kids too, if you want to get them moving and maybe they're just like waiting for the food to come out, there's this 200 ideas of the best minute to win it games. So I thought this was really cute and wanted to share it.
Your family means everything to you. So when it comes to keeping them healthy, you can trust Care Now for quality urgent care that's convenient. We're here for you and your family. So
we don't really want to be advertising urgent care, do we now? So I'm just going to mute it until what we want to show comes out.
Carm, we don't hear.
Don't hear it? Okay, you get the picture, right? So the idea is to get the kids and family moving. That's it. Besides just walking, maybe going outside, having like a little scavenger hunt, think of other ways just to get everybody engaged and moving and not just eating. Because of course that's what we like. If the kids are a little older, help us cook. The adults would love that. Set the table, make traditions, and make it memorable. I pass it back to you.
I love that, Carm. As you were talking about all the traditions, Kata's like, okay, I'm going over to Carmela's house. You know, and whenever I think about all of these holidays, let's just think about this with me, okay? Let's go through Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. As we create, we can destroy, right? But let's talk about celebration when where we are not destroying. And what is one common denominator that we can hear with all of these holidays? I don't know about you, but for me, when I hear all these holidays, I just hear waste. How much waste is being created, you know? And part of our movement, we don't only talk about food and nutrition and what we're eating. We're talking about how is it packed? What's the packaging? Do we care about, you know, the way this is it eco-friendly? Is it biodegradable, right? So let's go to Tammy in Colorado to show us how to have a grateful heart and how to have a sustainable Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Taz. I'm actually in Ohio, but my friend Kimberly is in Colorado, and that's why you're thinking that. And I'm always going to visit her there. Did you guys want me to read something, or did you want me to talk about my gratitude tree?
Please talk about your gratitude tree. I'm very excited to learn about this.
Okay. So I have a little guy in the house and some teenagers, and, you know, getting kids to really think about the things that they're grateful for, you have to make it fun for them. So I found this really adorable little tree, and it has little paper, and you could even really make something like this very easily. And whenever they think of something that they're grateful for, they write it on the leaf and then they stick it on the tree. So that way at Thanksgiving, we'll all go around and read all the things that we've been grateful for. So, and my kids are so grateful for so many things now that Purium has come into our lives, and things just keep getting really life is just getting really amazing and good. And everybody's feeling so good. And, you know, this year we're going to run away to the woods and have a little cabin, no Wi-Fi. And we're not going to be with the rest of our family. And it's okay. It's okay to create new traditions. You know, we get to cook together, and we're all going to, you know, my daughter's already planning the menu and thinking of all the things that she wants to create for us, and just being together. You know, when we're at home, sometimes we're not always cooking together. The kids are working and in school. So we're really excited to bond together and have this special time. And it's thanks to Purium that we get to do this. You know, being a single mom, you know, I wasn't able to afford things like this before this job. And now that I have these amazing brand partners that are hitting their fast start bonuses, big shout out to Megan Colito. It's because of her that we're able to do this Thanksgiving. And I'm just so grateful for that, because, you know, normally I'm at the mercy of my family, my sisters, and they put Thanksgiving on, and we go over there and we have to eat what they're serving. And, you know, you don't want to be rude and hurt their feelings. So I'm just so grateful that we get to create our new tradition this year and go do our own thing and run away to the woods and unplug and have these games. And I can't wait to try the scavenger hunt. That's going to be fun to incorporate that too.
I love the tree. I love the idea that you were talking about. I think we're going to start incorporating that in our family as well. I think it's a great idea. And, you know, if you have families who they're not open, right, to eating the way we do, how about suggesting to them, you know, you could bring over something, cook something, bring it over, let them try. Because chances are is that, maybe they don't know what they're missing, right? There was a time we weren't always living this healthy lifestyle. So we always have to remember that and connect back to that moment. And what people don't know, they can have a change of palate, they can try it. And you know what? They probably will be more open to the idea. I also wanted to suggest that, our Purium packaging, it's all biodegradable. You can actually plant the bags. You can rip off the label and plant it. And I mean, you can use that and you can create things. You can create a little turkey or whatever Thanksgiving tradition that you use in your family. Reuse those packaging as well, because I mean, this is another way that Purium gives back. They show you how everything is eco-friendly. And I mean, it's a great learning experience and teachable moment with the kids, right? And council members, we have anything else to share about this? No?
Well, it's not only that it's biodegradable, it's eco-friendly, it's also fun. You can make activities, you can use the Purium packaging to make some decor. You can reuse it so much, and it's I love Purium and I love everything that it's done for us.
Amazing. I love that. And you pass it forward to the next generation. So thank you guys for all sticking around. So now we will be talking about our special gift. I will be passing it on to Naeva to introduce this to all of us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all the knowledge shared with us today from our amazing council. And yes, we put together a fun little gift for you all. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and give you a little sneak peek. Let's see. I don't think it's sharing the right screen. Let me try that again. For some reason, my Zoom kicked me off of my screen where all of my things are. So let me try to find them. But we did create a fun little Canva recipe book for you for this holiday, for Thanksgiving. So that way you can have ease as you're trying to switch over into healthier alternatives and healthier recipes. And let's see, I'm having trouble finding my page with all of my links. So let me just pull it up again here. Okay, I think I got it. Technical difficulties always gets the best of me. All right. So can you see this? Perfect. So we created a fun little recipe guide for you all. We're going to give you the link to this in just a minute. And we just want to help you. These are all the recipes that we came up with. So this is in addition to any other traditional recipes that you might want to be providing that you already know how to make, or you already can find it elsewhere. They're things that other family members might bring, but these are other alternatives that might be healthier. So like the cauliflower mashed potatoes instead of regular mashed potatoes, which is way lower calories, so much easier to digest, and has so many more benefits. A mushroom gravy instead of using, grease from bacon or other, broths, you could have a mushroom gravy, which has so many additional benefits, way easier to digest. So these recipes are really meant to support anybody who might be doing the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And like Taz shared, the lentil meatloaf, right? Something simple, it's nutritious, and it can still give you that meaty feel. You can put gravy over it without having to eat something that's super heavy and is going to weigh you down. And we even included a couple fun recipes at the end, some cheesecakes, which I am fond of making cheesecakes, and a recipe from Tammy and her family for a pumpkin spice latte, which includes our pumpkin spice protein and our coffee protein. So these are all really fun recipes that you can incorporate into this upcoming Thanksgiving. And you can also use this as a tool. I want to invite you to use this as a tool for yourself and your community, and let people know, like, hey, let's stay healthy through the holidays. And that's what I've been really encouraging. And you can offer them this as a gift when they purchase their ultimate lifestyle transformation, or even just for them to lean into the healthier recipes that we can provide. So I just wanted to skip through these because we do have vegan pumpkin cheesecake bars, which I am so excited to make. And the maple pecan cashew cheesecake, another fun one, and an apple crust. So if you're going to bring the dessert to the party, let's focus on the healthier alternatives that have less sugar, or maybe coconut sugar or maple syrup. And at the end of this book, we also put our pledge so that we can encourage everybody to take the pledge with us. And then, of course, the links to all of our other recipe books that have way more Purium ingredients mixed into it. In this recipe book, a few of the recipes include Purium ingredients, but in these other recipe books, there's way more superfoods included in them. So you can also go through these books and also use them as additional tools that you have in your pocket to share with your community. So pass it back to you, Taz. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love that. I mean, just pass it on and to share all these recipes with every single person we meet. I mean, this is gratitude. This is nutrition. This is the ultimate love, right? This is how you show your love through your food.
Yeah, I'm so excited to try all those recipes. We're gonna have like a giant feast. It's all our whole counter is gonna be full of food. I'm so excited.
So I wanted to open it up to the field to share some of your ideas. What traditions are you using in your household? Raise your hand and I will unmute you, and we would love to hear from you. Who has their hand up? Okay. Okay, Dee, I see you. I see. Okay, I will unmute you. Okay, go ahead. Tell us where you're calling from. Ask to unmute. There you go. Do you see it?
Yep, I see it. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So share with us what you do in your family.
Well, so one of the things that I have found that has worked with my family, only because, you know, me being part of the Purium family and knowing how to make adjustments, it is a struggle for my family. There's no doubt. And they're getting better and better each time. But one of the things I wanted to say is that I am, especially at the end, because I had a whole idea of what I was going to talk about. But as soon as I saw that last piece with the recipes, like I'm already ready to like change out my crust on something that I was going to make based on what I just saw. So I'm super, super excited. But one of the things, and I'll just go through it real quick, that my family does, and I do it specifically, is as a tradition, we like to get some exercise in the morning. So we live in Arizona. The weather is favorable all the time. So we get out at least 60 minutes each holiday for the most part, including Thanksgiving. So we'll go for a hike, a walk, a bike or something, a bike ride. I personally like to eat my superfoods first. So I try and get a shake in just to fill myself up. I'll add some fruits and vegetables. I'll drink lots of water, especially before I'm going to a place for a holiday dinner. So I don't starve myself before I go, because I always tend to eat more when I do that. And then when I'm asked to bring a dish, I always bring something that I know I'm going to eat. So whether it's a salad, it's a veggie plate, something that's on the healthier side, nobody ever knows, and they end up loving it. So I just continue to do the same thing every year. Another thing that I do, if I have a plate, I fill it halfway. I don't fill up the whole entire plate unless I'm loading it up with lots of color and lots of vegetables at the bottom. And then I will put some of the other things on top that I choose to eat, or I'll get a smaller plate, more of like a dessert plate. And I will only fill up the dessert plate because I tend to be hungry. I mean, I tend to be full even after eating off of a smaller plate, because I tend to eat more on a bigger plate. And all of this has been incorporated in with my family. They all know this and they kind of follow my lead, which is really nice to see. And then again, like most of you talked about, was doing some exercise after the fact. So we try to get out and do a walk after to digest, and yeah, that's pretty much what the family does. And when it comes to dessert, I always tell my kids and myself, get a dessert plate, take a bite, and throw the rest away. Like, you don't have to eat everything that you choose. So those were some of the things that I wanted to share when it comes to mindful eating.
I love that. I love that. And I love how you're incorporating your entire family. You're teaching them. And, you know, it's not about deprivation. And I love the pre-eating. I always try to pre-eat before you go, because you don't want to be over starving. Okay, Boo, let's get to you. I would love to hear about your traditions. Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you so much for this call. You guys are just beyond amazing. I really appreciate all the information, and thank you to my guests who have come on. Um, so I'm high raw. I take it a step further. But one of the things I love, especially at this time of year, is the fiber, because I make the pies and my oatmeal cookies with that, and then I incorporate the chocolate or the berry in it as well. And I just use overnight oats, and then even overnight oats with the fiber, it's just so delicious. And then I dehydrate them so that they're raw, but you can also bake them at a low temperature, and it just makes everything so delicious. And then I would say one of my tips, which I just shared on my Instagram, I gave 7 tips for a healthy Thanksgiving. My number 1 tip was make sure you take your aminos in the morning, because having that complete panel of amino acids in our body really helps to regulate us. And then another tip that I really liked was you don't have to eat dessert right after the meal. Make space, take pause, go for that walk first, and then come back for the dessert. And earn your dessert, right? So I like that one. It's like, that's a nice challenge, right? Let's earn our desserts, get some digestion in there, and come back and enjoy the dessert, and then have some tart cherry and go to sleep.
Ooh, those were such great suggestions, like incorporating a high protein and using the super aminos. I mean, what better pairing in the mornings that'll keep you full, and the fiber. This will help keep your blood glucose levels. This will help keep you full longer. I mean, those are amazing tips. And I can't wait to try that recipe with the overnight oats. That sounds delicious. And I know you guys are all on this call and you're thinking, well, how do we share it? Right? We are an activism group, and we always have a call to action at the end. So our call to action this week, I will pass it on to Tammy in Ohio.
All right, so I believe we're gonna ask everyone, Naiva, do you want to pull it up? We're gonna ask everyone, if you have not yet watched Kiss the Ground, or if you have not yet seen Common Ground or requested it in a theater near you, this is a great time, when you're with your friends and your family, you guys can get together. Kiss the Ground is on Netflix right now. I don't know if we have any information on that, Naiva, if you want to pull it up, or if you guys don't know the link, we can put it in the chat. So these are all the places where it is playing. I did a post this morning on Facebook asking my friends to request it in the theater in my town near me so that we can see it soon. But when you're with your friends and family, Kiss the Ground is really good. That's the first one that came out. So you could all sit around while you're, if it's raining outside and you can't go for a walk or whatever, maybe this would be a great time to sit and gather and watch Kiss the Ground together, and see what everyone thinks about it. And hopefully it will inspire and motivate people to start taking more action. And so if you don't see your city here, you can go on and request it to be played in your town, demand a screening. Like I said, I just did this. I asked all my friends to do this. So this is really exciting. And from what I hear, I have not seen Common Ground yet, but from what I hear, it's really, really, really good, and you're not going to want to miss it.
And with all of the recipes that we shared on today's call, you can have the feast. Have the feast with all of these nutritious food, and then have the screening after, right? So they get to try the food, they get to see what we're talking about. So we're showing them all levels of wellness, right? Because this is what we show here and Million Mom Movement. We're showing wellness as a whole, our mind, body, soul, the earth around us, because we are a direct reflection of what's happening on the planet, in the planet, how our earth is operating. This is how our bodies is operating at the same speed, at the same level. So how we respect ourselves is how we will respect the earth. Okay, let's I mean, we have some time here. Does any of our council members want to share anything? Okay, I'll pass it on to you. Naiva, would you like to share this?
Sure. So I'd love to invite you all to like, follow, and share our different platforms with your community. And, you know, it starts with taking the pledge and committing to yourself and your family and making healthy choices. And that's what we're here to do, is spread that word. And each and every one of you here is part of the Million Mom movement. And we want to spread that movement far and wide. And so you can share what we have in our community, all the resources that we've created, through following us on or liking our Facebook page, and, you know, being able to get all the information there. That's where our events for Fierce Fridays are posted weekly. So you can always find the event there and invite people to it, or share it in your stories or on your own walls, or however you want to share that far and wide in your community. And then, of course, you can join our community Facebook group, Million Mom Movement Official, where we share the replays with all of the links that we've talked about today. So if you want to have access to those different articles, and of course our recipe book link and everything like that, that will be posted in our Million Mom Movement Official for you to grab and share far and wide with your community as well. And then you can follow us on our Instagram page. That's where we primarily repost your posts or your reels, or the different things that you share when you tag us. So you can use our hashtags, and you can also tag us on your posts or in your stories so that we can share those into our community. And then, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where all the replays go up within a few hours of our presentations. And join us back here every week on Friday. And I want to go ahead and pass it over to Carmela, who's going to share with us our upcoming presentations and close us out.
Thanks, Naiva. Usually I like to pull up what we have on Facebook, which is an event page, but I have to pull it up. While I'm doing that, I did think of something to share, because we're thinking about gratitude and Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful to be part of a company. I was just on a prospecting Zoom yesterday with my team, and to be part of a company that leads the charge in a plastic-free alliance for the whole world. And I'm not just talking about the United States. I'm saying we're offering resources for any company who truly wants to go plastic free with our resource support with Dave Sandoval. So the Plastic Free Alliance is a really big thank you, Purium, and thank you to our community for leading the charge in not just the healthy movement, but looking at the biggest picture we can, because we know microplastics are a big thing, but is anyone really truly doing anything about it? So when you can feel like that we have something so special, we need to share that forward and just be grateful that we are part of a movement that cares enough about humanity. So there's Friday. Let's see our topic for this week ahead. Oh goodness. Yes, we actually have Black Friday coming up too, guys. So that's really exciting for us all too. I'm not finding it, Neva. Sorry, the Facebook event page for it.
So I was messaging you in the chat, Carmela. We didn't yet put up that presentation because there's a surprise new product that's coming out next week that we're going to be presenting on. And so, yeah, join us next week to come find out more about that surprise new product launch that's happening.
Even more to be excited and thankful for. So many things for during Thanksgiving to be thankful for our company. And stay tuned, guys, because the next week's Fierce Friday we'll be able to highlight that. Thank you, Naiva, for throwing that in here. So we would love to see you guys next Fierce Friday. And I pass it back to you, Taz.
Well, thank you all for being on this call, and you can find a replay on our YouTube channel. So if you know someone who couldn't attend this call live, just send them the replay. We post them every week, and we're here every week for all of you as a community, as activists. And thank you so much, and pass the message forward. Thank you, everyone.